Okay, third grade, we are going to adding color to our still life. So please make sure that you have your correct paper from the folder holder. Supply manager, I'm going to ask you to get the chalk container that is on the cart. So please listen for that. Then I'll be passing out a baby wipe to every student. This is to keep your fingers clean as we switch colors. If your baby wipe gets really messy, raise your hand. We'll throw this one away. I'll get you a new one. Okay, chalk. It's similar to chalk that you use on your sidewalk. There is lots of different colors. You have your paint mat. So if you pick up one and you're not sure, like it looks a little dirty what color it is, just color on your paint mat, like do a little scribble somewhere to see what color it is. Don't do it where your paper is, because sometimes they get messy. Okay, we are gonna start with our background and then work down, because if we work up, then our arm lays in it and it smears it everywhere. You also need to be careful, because if you're laying your fingers down on it and your fingers have chalk on them, you're gonna have fingerprints everywhere. So you need to pick two colors for your background. One color will be your stripes, the other color will be in between. I'm gonna go with, again, this is me, I think this is like a red orange, yeah, and ooh, a bright green. That's what I'm gonna go with. So I'm gonna do the green in the big areas and the red in the small areas. Again, when my fingers are on there, I need to make sure. The fastest way to do this is turn it on its side and do the rubbing. I'm gonna have to move my mat because it's got glue. And then when you get to the little areas, you can use the pointed part. But if you sit there and try to draw with it like a pencil, it's gonna take forever. You just have to keep moving your paper. And I actually get the baby wipe in my hand and hold the paper, so that way I know my messy fingers are not touching it. Okay. Oh, there it is. It's like I lost my color. Now, we don't want to do this, because if you do that and blow it, it's going to go in someone's face. So tap the extra dust off to the side. So put that red back. Now, this is the magic. Again, dust, tap it off. You're gonna get a clean finger. For the big areas, you can use 2 fingers. For the small area, I would use 1. We're gonna stick with doing all green, and then I'm gonna come back with the red. So I'm gonna use my 2 fingers, and I'm going to blend it in. Yes, you must do this. This is very important. It makes the chalk look wonderful. Notice I'm just sticking with my greens because my finger's green. Okay. Now, clean it off. Use my 1 finger for my red. And yes, I can tell if you've done this or not. Okay, so I've got my background. Now we're gonna move to the fruit. So I'm just cleaning off my, remember these are oranges. There's several different orange colors. So find 2 that are similar. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use them both in each orange. So on the left side, we're gonna use the darker orange. Oops. Just an area on the left. Then you're gonna use the lighter orange, obviously on the opposite side. Okay, put those off to the side, just in case you don't know it. Get your fingers clean. Now, we're gonna use our 1 finger and we're gonna blend these 2 colors together. And it's gonna look super cool. Cool. Now I know our black lines are kind of getting covered up. The baby wipe will fix that too, if that bothers you. Okay, so we've got our oranges. Now we're gonna move to our apple, which is a red. Again, there should be 2 reddish colors. That's a red. Okay, I think that's an orange and a red. Okay, again, we're gonna do the darker on the left, the lighter on the right, those up. Tap off. Get my fingers clean. Blend. Again, if you want to wipe off your marks. Just don't go into your orange. Okay, oh, be careful because I smeared red right there. Pear greens. A light green and a dark green. So make sure you find 2 greens. Remember, the darker is on the left. The lighter is on the right. What this light and dark is doing, it's like as if there was a light shining on the fruit this way. And that's why we're doing the light and the dark, but making sure we do it on the same side. Okay, again, wipe my fingers. I'm going to use the corner. There we go. We're just working our way down. So the table, or the pedestal. So there are browns in here, which is what I'm going to stick to. You could do a different color, but just understand, especially my background, like I've used red, oranges, green, green, green. I've used a lot of the same colors up here. If I do something, I want to do something really different, like a blue or a brown, a purple, something, a pink, something very different, because the table I do want to use brown. So maybe I'm going to do blue on that pedestal. So please look through your chalk, and again, use your paint mats. Like here's a really different blue that you could use to make the pedestal stand out compared to the other ones. So I'm going to use the blue because the brown I'm going to use for the table. Again, make sure my fingers are clean. Use my with chalk, you technically can't really do a pattern unless you're doing separate colors like we did back here with separate lines. Okay, let's put that one up. Fingers. Okay, and we are all the way down to our table. So I'm using a brown. Again, if you don't want to use a brown, use something that doesn't follow in with the same. Because I did a blue pedestal, maybe a light green, something that would make it stand out. But you could use other colors. I just don't want it to be another blue. I don't want blue to blend in with the table. Okay, this is a big area, so I can use the side of my chalk. I'm going to start blending near the top over here. Ever use your hand. If you use your hand, you're just going to smear every color everywhere, and it's going to look like a tornado came through. Okay, wipe that off again. Kind of just wiping my lines. Again, there. Okay, make sure all chalk has been returned to our chalk container. Please make sure that is closed. Supply manager, please make sure that gets back to our table. Again, your baby wipe needs to be thrown in the trash can. Make sure you tap off any extra dust. Please listen, because we are still going to put this on the drying rack. I have something I spray on it to help the chalk stick. It won't keep the chalk there from rubbing off on you, but it's going to help the chalk. So I hope you enjoyed your still life.